onto the set.
You can't have that. You want that.
But we can't do it the way we have to do it. How can we do it? We gotta do it backwards. We gotta do the scene backwards. You wanna do the scene backwards?
No, but
What you always have to encounter when you finally shoot the movie is that it's never the same than it is in rehearsal, or it's never the same than it is in a storyboard, because there's just certain things that are difficult that you can't do them.
Let Sadie try it, and she'll just pick you up and drop you. What do you think?
You're just playing a game.
Well, we just did it a second ago, and you did it. It's just Halloween stuff. Trick or
So
treat.
then you can show your daddy and you can laugh.
We're just playing.
You saw me take my teeth out. Can you take your teeth out? I can take my teeth out.
Case, I think you better quit while you're ahead, Sadie. The more you show your teeth, though, even I'm scared. Cut.
And markers.
Where's the dolly? Where's Mommy? Oh, and where's Mommy?
Take the dolly. She's gonna talk.
Mommy went to get some juice. If you don't get a letter, then you know I'm in jail. Boom, 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 boom. Tootsie, goodbye. Tootsie, don't cry. Like the dolly? Said a baby is crying, and the social worker is saying, well, you can't make the baby be held by her if the baby's scared. I said, but, we have to tell the baby this is not really this, and we're into that part of life and the time the clock is going. Just let it sink in that the corpse is coming. You don't want to look at her face like this. Chill came over the whole place.
Lucy!
Cut. That was good.
You were so good.
You have no choice but to laugh at it all and not take it too seriously, It's balance. It's about balance. And finally, it's only about making a movie. And finally, it's not that important.
I was very aware that I wanted to make a film in Hollywood for Columbia Pictures, in which they experienced total smooth sailing that was made on budget, on schedule. There's millions of dollars at stake, and there's politics.
Mina!
And, I just felt that I do have my own way of working, but it also makes a lot of sense. That's terrible. That's terrible. Print it. I wanted it to go very well and be very commercial and, good job. And, of course, I was anxious, wanting nothing to go wrong. Let me explain something about the script. You guys put a lot of lines in the script. That's what's in there now. So the script is of the way you wanted it. So you can review it. No.
Remember, it's all a bit... It's okay. It's all right.
You want to sit down and just read the lines? I thought you knew them.
Something about the scene. I don't know what it is. I mean, we didn't really kind of...
Well, the idea... They're all confronting you. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of things. We made something that was like that. We've made it like that. Yeah. So now we got to play it.
I think with a given situation of a director like him and a bunch of actors, and like Gary Oldman, who's very kind of, passionate. Myself, I've always been a fighter, but now I've calmed down over the years, mellowed out a bit, I suppose. People are volatile. That's the way it is. You can't take it too seriously,
Probably, in reality, the thing is going to happen pretty fast.
Yeah.
You confront them, they attack you. Van Helsing challenges you, you make your last statement, and then you leave.
Yeah.
Gary was not happy with the scene. Anthony Hopkins was not happy with the scene. Nobody knew quite what to do. It's because these two guys are standing there having a dialogue scene. And Gary's going crazy because they're not afraid of me.
I know that, Francis, but it's like you're saying in the last scene where we're in the bed making love and I have a bit of dialogue and then I cut my chest and you suck it so it'll be all right on the day. I mean, I'm saying I can't just wing it. I can't just kind of come in here and wing it with it. I've got to know what the scenes, what we are saying to one another before I...
Well, that's what we... Originally, there were no lines like this.
Yeah.
And you're asking me sort of, where is everyone going to go? And I sort of say, with all the lines or without all the lines. I'm giving you a chance to kind of play all this stuff. But there's a big action thing going on. You know, with swords and stuff, it's very hard for me to set it in that way. If you want to go back set by piece by piece...
It just wasn't happening. And I wanted to discuss the content of the scene. Like, this is a rehearsal. This is my time, as well as yours, you know.
That scene in the church was very hard to rehearse because, you know, it was one of those scenes where everyone runs in and, you know, it's like if you're not in it, doing it, and he's a bat and he swings and scares them. So, you know, why don't you kind of read the scene back and forth between you, see what the beats are, and when you feel comfortable with the beats, you'll be able to play it. I mean, I think the problem is that I really, you know, don't feel the capability of really doing it and setting it right now.
One idea I got then at that time is go with the flow of it. And that's our lesson, something I learned on this, was to go with it. Because I'm a fighter. I want to fight. I want to punch heads in. And lately, and I've, you know, the last couple of years, I've learned to help with it. You just learn your lines and show up. You know, do what's there. And it makes life so much simpler.
The director feels that he's just basically the arbiter of the compromise. Okay, what now do I have to give up in order to get on with it? So because, you know, so, but out of compromise also comes creativity.
The result of this was that Gary needed to be in some form that was terrifying to these men who had guns and crucifixes and swords, so he could keep them at bay and have this rather eloquent exchange with Van Helsing. So Francis came up with the bat suit. And now the scene works like gangbusters. They're afraid of Gary.
Mina!
Look what your God has done.
You know, to be able to do this job in the first place, you've got to have a bit of an ego to be able to do it, you know. Whether you're in a movie or whether you stand on a stage and say, look at me, I'm interesting. I mean, that takes a lot of ego, you know. And Francis has one the size of San Francisco. And I've got a pretty big one too. And I think it's a good, I think it's a good thing to see that energy gave me great hope. Because you go, ooh, that's the guy that made Apocalypse Now. That's the guy that made The Godfather, you know.
Cut. Good. Once again. You're stepping off the cliff, you know, when you start to make a film. You know it. It's all part of the creative experience, you know. It all kind of is the soup. And then the soup is done. All the ingredients were really part of it.
I love you.
And when you get it, it's really the act of creation. Because you didn't really create it. You presided over it, which is the way we create. And it's thrilling for that reason. Good.
It's a wrap.
Good night, everybody.
And you know he will return in the shape of me.